This is the ineffable secret, the ultimate enlightenment, the key to peace and power that will set you free. You are God. These are the three magical words. If you accept this profound truth and dare to stand atop this magnificent peak, the universal consciousness will be revealed to you from within. God is there. He's the one peering behind your eyes, which is your own consciousness, which is the very you. You are not just a part of God. You are entirely God, and God is entirely you. Watch this video with an open mind and heart, for to discover who we are, we must detach from the self we think we are. This is what the mystics seek, and the truth is within. Freedom through knowledge, transformation through perception. This may be frightening for many people because we were not raised to believe this. I'm not saying you should go around saying, "Excuse me, do you know who you're talking to?" I'm saying I am God. And the reason we find it intriguing is that we think of God as the God we've created in our image. The ego's God, the angry God, the character of God who wants special favors. The God who has the power to heal, but withholds it. Spirituality is more than a conceptual abstraction made of beliefs, ideas, and theories. It's an experience. I don't want you to just think about what I'm saying, but to participate. This is a profound practice. Meditate with me. I want you to understand that you are God, that you were made in His image and likeness, and that the creative act is a divine act in which you create your reality. But this realization won't come easily to you. I want you to understand that what I'm going to present generally can't be grasped at your current level of consciousness, so let's expand this view for you. Let's expand your consciousness and broaden your perception in this video if you allow it. So, you are God. God is you. The issue is that when I say this, most people can't comprehend it because they lack a reference experience to make it clear to them. It's not about ego or constructed narratives. What do you think when I say the word God? What are your beliefs, visual images, and ideas when I say that you are God? What resistance do you have to accept this concept? Set that aside. We'll come back to it in a moment. Focus on your immediate present. Look at your hands and the room you're in. Sensitively perceive the reality around you. The sounds, your breath, all of this, the experience. You are aware, present, and attentive. This is your reality. It's more real to you than anything. Your consciousness, your experience. You are the most direct manifestation of God. God talks to you and through you. God is perception. God is life experiencing itself. Contrast this with your previous ideas about God and forget all of it. They are abstractions. You are God. God is you. There is no distinction. Your entire experience is God, not all those conventional ideas that arise in your mind. What I'm talking about, you being God, is not about fantasy, mysticism, or any limitations created by humanity. No book ever created God, but God exists within us and has inspired all the great books. Think about it. The universe is more than 13 billion years old. How could a book written and edited by humans could conceive all the answers? God transcends space-time and human conceptualizations. God is the tangential point between zero and infinity. As long as humanity thinks of God as a being sitting above the clouds, with rewards in one hand and punishments in the other, there can be no love, only separation. Can you scare someone and make them love? Does the lamb love the lion? Does the mouse love the cat? Does the slave love the master? Slaves sometimes simulate love, but is it love? Attachment produces fear, but love does not. God goes beyond words. It is the experience you are having right now. It's who you are beyond the noise and all the layers of conditioning, the transcendental truth from within that could change your life forever. It is all your perception and experience. When His light, His presence, and His spirit shine through the human face, then and only then can man understand Him. So people today do not worship God, but rather the ideas created by institutions greater than themselves. Your ego will resist this idea, and you will cling to everything that is familiar to you. But God is not a God outside, He is inside. He is the essence of all of it, the thread that ties all essences and things together. He is the unity of all, the reality of all life and existence. He reveals himself to the pure heart, to open-minded and immaculate mystics, yes, even in this life. It will be revealed to you not as an idea, but a sensation, a presence that surpasses all dogmas and limiting conceptions. Then, and only then, is the convoluted heart cleared. This divine force slumbers in the minds of distracted multitudes, waiting to be founded. This realization is everywhere. But there is another word that Jesus used in the New Testament, and this is the God I'm talking about, quoting him. God is love, and he who abides in love abides in me, and I in him. This is the true power of God, the power to be transformed and to transform, and love is a bridge to this innate presence. The second great lesson was from a man named Neville. I made a video about one of his ideas and the light to our capacity for infinite creation. In one of his books, he says the following: in all creation, in all eternity, in all the realms of your infinite being, the most wonderful fact emphasized in the first chapter of this book is that you are God. You are the I am that I am. You are consciousness. You are the creator. This is the mystery. This is the great sacred secret known to seers, prophets, and mystics throughout the ages. This is the truth you can never know intellectually. If you want to understand something intellectually, you must analyze it, create a formula, study it, consult other experts, and come to a conclusion. If you want to understand something spiritually, you must first experience it and come to know it from within. The only reason I'm saying this is that I have experienced it. In other circumstances, I would never believe it. I experienced waking up from a deep dive of unconsciousness into the ancient prison of my own mind. That's when I realized deeply on an intuitive level. In the New Testament, which I read completely before writing, when Jesus is about to be stoned, he says it loud and clear and makes this intriguing revelation. He asks, "Why do you want to stone me?" And they say, "Because you blaspheme. You are a man and claim to be God." Jesus' response in his own words is it not written in your laws? I have said you are gods. We are all gods. Within us, we have not the God that is often taught to be outside of us, but the God who is love. The God who has perfect love, the soul that wants to expand because it is infinite and does not want to be restricted. That's the beautiful expansion of our immortal consciousness. I came across some great teachings that were sent to me. They appeared by chance as if they were coincidences, but according to the seeker's perception, we know that they are synchronicities of the universe, and it came in the form of a book from the hands of a spiritual mentor. These were called the I Am Discourses. I quote from the I Am Discourses. The first expression of every individual everywhere in the universe, whether in spoken words, silent thought, or feeling, is I am, recognizing their own conquering divinity. The student, I, all of us, who are trying to understand and apply these powerful laws must more strictly watch our thoughts and word expressions. Otherwise, consciously or unconsciously, every time you say, I am not, I cannot, I have not, you are smothering, whether you know it or not, the great presence within you. Those words, I am, I use them in one of my most inspired videos. And where do you think they came from? What do these words I am mean? It is a divine expression of power and identity that reverberates across major religions and humanity's shared sense of spirituality. They are not just two words, they are a symbolic representation of consciousness that transcends and precedes all labels and categorizations that arise from mundane mental construction. For you to understand better with a well-known story. A quick summary of Moses' story. Moses, this little baby who was born at a time when the Pharaoh had ordered that all male babies be drowned in the Nile. Moses' mother took her baby, placed him in a basket, and let him float on the Nile. Moses was discovered by the Pharaoh's daughter, who raised him as her own son and as the Pharaoh's grandson. However, in his adolescence, he became involved in a conflict and ended up witnessing one of the Israelite slaves being mistreated. So he killed the man. Moses had to flee because he was afraid for his own life. He went to the Sinai desert where he married Zipporah, had children, and became a shepherd. One day he came across a burning bush that was not consumed by the fire, and the bush spoke to him. Moses said, "Who am I and who are you?" Moses said to God, "Who am I to go to the Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt?" And God replied to Moses, "I will certainly be with you, and this will be a sign to you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain." Then Moses said to God, "Suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of your ancestors has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' Then what shall I tell them?" And God said to Moses, "I am who I am." And he added, "This is what you will tell the Israelites. I am sent me to you. This is my name forever, the name by which I am to be remembered from generation to generation. My name is I am who I am." Now, every time you use the words I am, you will be invoking the name of God directly from the holiest of books. And every time you say the words I am weak, I am poor, I am unlucky, I am unhappy, I am sick, I am incapable of attracting what I desire in my life, you will be profaning the name of God. God did not say, "I will be." He did not say, "My name is perhaps." He said, "I am who I am." You must be aware of how you use these words. I am strong, I am healthy, I am happy, even if your senses say otherwise. As we move forward, you will see that putting the words I am in front of something in your mind and imagination is a very powerful way to attract recognition of your own divinity into your life. I am God is not blasphemy, it is your identity. Have you ever noticed it's within you? It's as if you've been riding all your life wondering, what are horses? Then you sit on the horse and think deeply about horses. You close your eyes and try to figure out what horses are. You create imaginative fantasies. But in the meantime, you're riding all the time. The failure here is to get lost in ideas about horses and not realize how it manifests in your own experience. It's the same with God. You have God right here, right now. The ideas we create about God are rational limitations, boxes made of words and concepts when, in reality, it's something far beyond and yet within. This is nearly impossible for a person conditioned by conventional thinking to grasp because the ego creates stories, layer upon layer, trying to understand reality. But immediate reality happens before these stories. The difficulty is removing these narratives. The mind doesn't want to abstract because it gets lost, it's a deconstruction, but have the courage to test it. Let's do a thought experiment. Focus your attention on this bubble of presence you have. Then you need to unlearn what you think is true. Because you think you know what this experience is. God is pure, unconditional love. That is what you are. If you are God, then your soul is a temple of the highest, and every movement of yours should be an adoration. Love for love, duty for duty, without hope of reward or fear of punishment. This way, you cast aside man-made religions and associate with the spirit that predates man. That means expansion, and expansion means realization and perception in the highest sense, without fiction or implanted ideas. Man must become divine, realizing the divine more and more every day in endless progression. The whole universe is a symbol, and God is the essence behind it. To know God is to become God. You cannot believe in God until you believe in yourself. You are God. I am God. We are gods. You must see God. The Spirit must be realized, and that is practical spirituality. God is the infinite and impersonal being, ever existent, immutable, immortal, fearless, and we are all His incarnations, His embodiments. God is the sole dispenser of results. Let Him do all of that. What have you to do with the work? Believe and let yourself be inspired, for that divine spark lives and desires to awaken within you. God is the inexplicable and inexpressible essence of love, to be known but never defined. You are God, and that goes beyond definition. Sit in sacred silence, and one day, you will listen. Freedom through knowledge, transformation through perception. God is omnipresent, has no gender, and no idea other than love defines Him. He manifests in every corner of existence. But for humans, trapped by their ego and ideologies, He is only visible and recognizable